Hey guys, I just got word that my cat got out, so yeah, I'm gonna go deal with that.
So, in case anyone cared, I found her after going around the neighborhood for an hour, shaking up a bag of Sargento cheese, and she ran into a storm drain. Well, anyway, back to the nails. Here we are. I didn't talk code, and so I'm gonna do this one.
We got her back. That's all that matters. I had to put that in there because I'm sure y'all enjoyed watching me struggle with my cat and my bag of Sargento cheese. A moment for my dominant hand application because, yes. Now I had to show y'all a little bit of my dominant hand because this just proves how easy this builder gel is to use, that I can even use it with ease on my dominant hand, where normally I'll do press-ons if I'm feeling lazy, but I had to do the builder on this hand as well because it's just so easy to use. I love it so much. And honestly, once you've done this for enough time, you will eventually become ambidextrous and get the hang of it, to the point where now most of the time my dominant hand actually comes out better. Heck, I think this is the first time I've been able to do builder gel on my on my dominant hand. That's how great this stuff is. All right, I guess now's a good time to talk about the top coat. And y'all, I did no filing on these. The pinky, I could have definitely added more product here, but I'm not mad at it. No filing at all, just going straight to top coat. Ooh, look at this brush. Okay. Oh, that's nice. What? I love this consistency. Dang, wait, that was barely in view. This is temporary. Tomorrow I have to buff this off and do a design, so.
3 days later.
Okay, and we are back. I had planned to do this the next day, but life had other plans because that's just the life of a working mom. And sometimes I have to do my nails over the span of a week to then get tired of them and do them a week later. But such is life. Anywho, can anyone guess what the theme is going to be based on the color palette? And if you guessed Tangled, you are correct because they just announced live action, and I figured what better way to showcase all these beautiful colors than all of the colors of Tangled. And of course, there was absolutely no reaction, so yay! All right, so we're going to start with the thumb, and this is going to be solid purple because we are going to do the sun banner because I am the Lulu, and I really believe that I can freehand the sun. Now, painting on a solid color will humble you every time, especially because this is one of the square brushes, but we are making it work. Look at that, so pigmented, seriously goes on like butter. And even with the square brush, we made it work. Slay. Now for the pointer and the pinky, I'm going to be doing a French in pink and purple, but I'm just gonna skip right over that because y'all have seen me do a billion Frenches. Now for the ring finger, I want to do Rapunzel's corset, the front of it with a little lacing, and I think that's gonna look so cute. I mean, seriously, just look how easy this glides on. You could still make it work with the square brushes, folks. Okay, now using our dotting tool, we're gonna go ahead and just line up the dots for the corset in a slightly darker shade. I'm using this gorgeous mauve. And then in a much lighter pink shade, you're gonna go ahead and do the lacing.
1 day later.
Okay, we're back. I had to go pick up my kiddo yesterday, so I could not finish these. It has now been like 6 days since I originally put these on, and now they're starting to look grown out, and I don't like that look. So I am going to fill these. Because, I just took one look at my life with a 3-year-old and a full-time job, and I said, you know what I really need to add to my life? Content creation. That's not going to stress me out at all. But here we are, making do. This builder is just so easy to work with. It's really easy to fill. You can kind of tell where I just filled it with color, but whatever. I'm kind of just living on a prayer right now, so the fact that I even have an hour to sit down and do this is a blessing. I'm going to just take what I can get. Oh, I almost forgot to tell y'all that these cure without an inhibition layer. So there's no top coat on this right now. This is exactly how I left them yesterday. And that is amazing for someone like me who has to do her nails in like phases because life. So that is awesome. So I've got my Koopa on 7,000 RPMs. Bam, I should be able to get another 3 weeks out of these bad boys. Okay, we're off to a good start. My lungs were really struggling through this because I was not breathing for the majority of that. And halfway through, I was really starting to question what the heck I was doing with my life and why I decided to do this. Because, like, who the heck do I think I am? Nails by Dev. But then, as I finished those first few, like, little sun rays, I realized, wait a minute, I can do this, I could do this. And then the rest of it just kind of pulled together. Holy crap, that was hard. But we did it. Okay, now because I'm extra Delulu and the sun just wasn't enough, I'm going to do the golden flower. I didn't include the footage, but basically this is attempt number 2 because I had tried to use a Zajai sculpting gel, but because it seemed easier to mold, but then it all just turned into like a giant ball of mush because it does self-level. So I went back to my trusty Bling Galleria solid sculpting gel. Also, I don't even attempt to roll these with gloves, so what I do is I just use the little silicone pusher tool thing and just roll it into like a log, and then I cut it up with a cuticle pusher into 6 even pieces and then roll them up into balls with a little silicone tool, and then I just grab them up and place them on my nail. Ideally, you want to have a base coat so that it can stick to it, because otherwise it's just going to be sliding around everywhere and it's going to be really hard to get that on the nail. Now I just start molding the petals, and this always depends on what type of flower you're doing because this one is pointed at the ends. I use the end of the silicone tool to kind of push the ball inward so that they all kind of meet with a little tiny hole in the middle for the beads that I'm going to place. And then I use the sides of it to kind of give it that point at the ends of the petals. I don't know if any of that just made sense, but yeah, just do it. Wow, that actually turned out halfway decent. So now we get to paint our flower. This is the fun part because there's so many textures that it's really hard to get that polish in there. But we're going to paint the entire thing like a light yellow and then kind of fill in the insides of the petals with that purple kind of pointed. You'll see. Now, hopefully I won't ever have to go through this pain and torture again because I did just order some color 3D sculpting gel from Chrisania Neri, and I am so excited because she has scientifically tested her gels to ensure that they are curing and they are super, super high quality. And I mean, a safe 3D gel. Heck yeah, sign me up. Now, using the Bling Galleria Rhinestone Glue, I'm going to go ahead and dab that right in the center of my flower where we left that little hole. Now I'm using the La Katrina matte top coat since I didn't get one from PLA, and I have already confirmed that this one did not flare me, and it's also an amazing matte so that I can do some chrome stars on my Frenchies. Okay, and here we finally are. I am so proud of these. Like, hello. And I really have to give myself more credit for how ambidextrous I've become because the fact that I was able to do this on my dominant hand is kind of wild. The whole thing I had going on with like trying to capture her magic glowing hair didn't exactly work out the way I wanted it to, but I still really, really like these. Hey besties, so it has now been a total of 2 weeks that I have had these on, and that does include the when I did the fill. This quickly became one of my staple brands, so I would hold this one right up there with Light Elegance. Other than not being able to use the base coat and the gel glue, everything else was totally fine. Absolutely no reaction. Super easy to work with. My only complaint would have been the brush, but they've already fixed that. So no complaints whatsoever. Michelle, the owner, was messaging me and went through all of the ingredients list to make sure that there was nothing that would flare me and did let me know which products had HPMA. And so that's really just the difference with a professional company versus, the cheap stuff is having people that you can talk to, that you can troubleshoot. But seriously, everything is amazing. This is easily my #1 builder gel now. I'm going to be doing a separate video on just the potted builder gels because I'm really excited to try those, considering how much I loved the bottle builder gels. To the point where I wasn't even gonna do my right hand. I was just gonna say screw it and leave it as it was. But doing the fill was so easy that I did it in like 5 minutes. And again, I'm not skilled in builder gel whatsoever. So overall, I give this brand a 10 out of 10. It is definitely Nail Narrative approved. You guys are gonna be seeing a lot more of it. And I can't wait for all the looks that I plan to create with all the polishes back there. So yeah, I'm really sorry about my super grainy footage, but I hope you enjoy anyway. And if you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments below. All right, besties, that is it for this one. If you've tried PLA, let me know what you think of it below. And if you're going to try it, let me know if you have any questions. Again, I don't have an affiliate code. I don't make any money off of you guys' sales. I just really, really love this brand. It's kind of just come in and like really shaken the industry because it's the most affordable pro brand that I have seen, and it's just amazing. So yeah, thank you so much PLA for doing things correctly. And as always, if you aren't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. I do have some of the cheaper brands coming up next, like RAR JSM, Rosier, and JR. So I will be doing some cheap brands coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for those. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one.